This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, and you're listening to Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, Steve Joyner has sent me a lot of guests, but few of them are as beautiful and stunning as the young lady from the UK that I have on the phone with me now. An actress who I'm looking forward to hearing her story. Please welcome the beautiful Nadia Chloe Rose. How do you do, Nadia?
Hello from the UK. Thank you ever so much for having me on your program. It's a great honor for me.
Well, it's a great honor for me too. You know, I was just wondering, did you hook up with Steve through Facebook like I did?
No, it was actually through Instagram. I saw a photo that he posted of Hollywood and commented on it, and that's how we linked through that film link.
Okay, I'm not on Instagram, but I know Steve is connected with me through an actress I interviewed last year, and it was like he was my first interview this year, and he has flooded me with talent ever since, and it's been quite a trip, and he sent you my way, and everybody sent to me has been interesting, even those whom I hadn't previously heard of, so I get to hear some interesting stories. So I would like to get your backstory a little bit there before we get into this.
Yes, well, I started acting when I was quite young. I used to do theatre tours, in the UK. I was in The Wizard of Oz and other plays. And then when I was quite young, when I was about 18, I moved out to Spain. I always loved Spanish. I don't know what it was about it, but even when I was at school, I always used to look at the pictures on the wall of all the flamenco dancers, the bullfighting. It just fascinated me. So I moved out there, and I did my degree there and my master's at the University of Granada. I studied languages, translating and interpreting, and the master's was in conference interpreting. And while I was out there, I saw all the amazing Spanish culture, and it's just amazing living out there. I didn't know how to describe it in words. It was so good. And I've kind of used my experience of that culture for the films I'm currently writing as a screenwriter, which are set in Spain. I've written a romantic thriller set in Seville, and now I'm just finishing a romantic comedy which is in Mallorca. So yes, Spain has been a huge part of my life, which I use for my artistic work, especially my writing. While I was in Spain, I lived in Madrid, which is a fantastic city. It's so lively and vivacious. And I studied acting there, cinematic acting, and managed to get on a Spanish soap opera, which was so fun. It was like acting like in Spanish, which was challenging, but that was a great experience. And I also toured around Madrid doing Shakespeare performances and playing Juliet. We did it like performances for children, and that was really fun, a great team doing that. And after that, I came back to the UK. I feel with film, it's always easier to work in your own language, even though I really enjoy working out in Spain. There's always more opportunity in your own language because you fit more parts, obviously. So we've been doing films recently here. We've done No More Lights in the Sky with the director Danny Cotton, which has had quite a lot of success, winning awards recently. And I've also been part of another feature film, Soldiers of Embers, in which I played a police officer, which was great fun because it's not the kind of part that I normally get cast as. I normally get cast more as kind of, I don't know how to say it, like the girl next door, which is another title of one of my upcoming roles. But that was a great experience as well. That was actually a really fun day filming that because we were filming on a pig farm, and we had all the oinking in the background to contend with, so it's a great experience. It's been so much fun. And that was led by Matt Long, who is a really talented producer, so hardworking. I think working on the films recently, I've just been so impressed by the different directors and producers. They just give so much, and they're producing really high-quality stuff, so it's really exciting. And I've been in other films recently, one of which was Litany, which was a horror film. And that was really interesting being part of that because before I never actually even watched horror because I kind of get scared. So then when I was asked to act in one, it was a bit much. I was like, well, I'm probably going to be on set scared. But it was an amazing team, and the director, who's called Ashley Newman, he was very creative. He set up these amazing lights. It was nighttime shoots, as it was a horror film. And he just had all these amazing lights set up. Like, he built this whole tunnel that my character Sarah had to crawl through in one of the scenes, and like with flashing lights, with smoke. It was just beyond my wildest dreams, that shoot. It was so much fun. And I've been doing other films as well, like The Perfect Gift and Vows. Vows is about gender-based violence, and it's a subject that means a lot to me because, especially in Spain, I think that subject that people struggle to talk about, and I feel that filmmaking is a way of being able to talk about everything and express it through art out in the open. So that's a project that I really care about as well. And I've got some really exciting parts coming up. I've been cast in the fantasy movie Hunters Hunted as an elf, of all things. Today I was talking to the producer who was sending me pictures of these elf ears they're going to try and put on me. So that's been fantastic. And other films as well, like Two Wrongs, which is a kind of another horror film. I don't know what's happened with the horror films, but it seems to be, the genre that I'm being picked up for. So that's really exciting as well. But yeah, the main big things I've been working on have been the projects that I'm writing, these feature films set in Spain.
Okay. You how many films so far have you done?
Had produced as a screenwriter or acted in?
Acted in.
Yeah, I haven't actually counted them. But yeah, it's been these, the ones I just mentioned, and yes, they've mostly all been in the UK because in Spain it was more the television soap, and I've done a lot of theatre as well. But yes, no, it's been the ones like Litany, The Perfect Gift, Vows, and these upcoming ones. And I'm also set to appear in a second chapter of the Nightmare Chronicles, which is set to be shot in Maryland or New York. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Soldiers of Ember. Now, that is a feature that you're involved in, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about your part in that.
Yeah, my part in that, it was just a police officer that was explaining to the detectives what had happened on a crime scene, which was a bit gruesome, what had happened, and just ushering them into the place where the crime had taken place and where there was now the body bag with the corpse. And it was quite funny, actually, because we had the makeup artist inside the body bag, and she was really cold on the floor. But, yeah, that was my role, just a police officer in that.
Okay. I'm just giving a look through your... Okay, on the Internet Movie Database, we have... that is the only feature you got listed right now as a feature film. You've done a number of shorts. Oh, of course, you got the TV series as well.
Yes, for the shorts, I've recently had A&D Film Productions who've started helping me produce my own screenplays. I recently wrote Motivation, which is the story of Jen and Lucas. Lucas basically is a character who really loved a girl and is very upset about having lost her, and his friend Jen is kind of motivating him, encouraging him. I really wanted to write uplifting films, which is why I was really excited about Motivation. That's now in post-production. We're now writing the sequel to that, which is Determination. Got a big motivation, determination theme going on. And yes, I was just casting that at the moment. So it's been great meeting the producer, David Stebbins, And yes, he's been helping a lot. He's a really talented producer who brings a lot of energy to the set. So it's been fantastic working with him.
Okay, out of the films that you mentioned when you did your introductory, now I don't have them in front of me, so do you have the lead in any of these films right now?
Yes, in the horror film I was like Sarah, which was the main character. That was really fascinating. It was about a lady, a woman who had accidentally murdered someone, and the way that was affecting her life, and it was kind of a bit spooky, like all the candles set up, and so that was really fascinating. Yes, Vows, I play the part of the woman who is suffering the gender-based violence abuse, so it's like the lead female in that, and it talks about how she's trying to escape the relationship with her abusive husband, and people who are trying to help her and support her through that, and how she tries to communicate about what's happening. Some people don't believe her, and how other people support her. So I feel that's a really real film. That's one I found really fascinating to play. We're still filming that at the moment. So those have been the main ones, yes.
What did you say the name of this film was?
Oh, Vows. Yes, the one we're currently filming.
Valve, like V-O-W?
Yes, VOWS, yes.
Oh, Vow. Okay, V-O-W-S. Okay. And you're the wife escaping the abusive relationship.
Yes, in that one, yes.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned you was in another, one or two horror films?
Yes, there's one which is upcoming called Two Wrongs, which is a psychological thriller, horror, and we haven't got the full script through for that. I've just been cast in that as Stephanie, and that's going to be produced by Village Green Pictures in Suffolk, in the UK, and yes, and The Nightmare Chronicles, which is set to film in America. That's kind of as well horror based. I keep getting cast in horror things.
What'd you say this one was called?
The one in America, The Nightmare Chronicles.
The Nightmare Chronicles. Okay. And what's this one about?
That's still being penned at the moment.
Yeah, but this is not going to be aired for a few months, so you're safe. Anything that you tell me, so.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'll give you all the information I have here about it. I'm set to appear in The Girl Next Door, which is the second chapter.
Okay.
And it's based on one of the chapters, which is about a neighbour. The girl next door is a neighbour living across from the haunted house.
Okay.
And how she experiences what is going on from an outside perspective. And yes, that's the information I have about it at the moment. I've been talking to the writer, who is currently writing that.
Yeah. This probably be. It's April now when the interview's being done, but this will probably air by the time this airs. You guys will probably be in either post production or have it ready for release. So you're probably good to go. So, I wouldn't tell you if it was any threat of revealing anything that you shouldn't. So yeah, this is recorded, so you're good.
Yeah. I didn't have much more information about that part at the moment. They just cast me and said that they were writing the script. So I'm still waiting and excited to see it.
And that one's being filmed here, huh? In America?
Yes, and they said in Maryland, between Maryland and New York State. So that would be really exciting for me. It would be my first time to America, so I've been really excited about that.
You've never been here to Canada before?
I wish I had, but no. It's always been something that fascinates me, but I haven't quite had the chance to yet. Yeah,
you're knowledgeable very much about us Canadian folks?
I wish I was. No, but I'm really, yes, I'd love to know more. Yeah, it's something I'm really interested in, traveling. I've traveled a lot in my life. I've traveled to Spain. I lived in France for a year as well.
Okay.
And I've traveled around Germany, Austria. I absolutely love traveling. It's so enriching. And I haven't thought about Canada yet, but America has always been on my heart. That I would love to experience that.
Wow. Yeah, I did an interview back in February from Spain. It was the first call I ever made there. And I guess they're 5 hours ahead of me in Spain, 9 hours ahead of California.
Mm.
Yeah, I interviewed one of the actors from the original Conan the Barbarian,
Mm.
the 1982 classic with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh wow, yes. How did he speak English, or how did you have an interpreter?
Oh, no, he spoke English. He was fine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
No, yeah. No, usually I make sure the person could speak English because otherwise I would be completely lost. But no, he spoke good English. Yeah. He although his part in Conan the Barbarian, he had no lines at all, but he was definitely a presence in the film. So that was my first contact in Spain. I have called other actors in the UK before, including one in Rome not too long ago. So, yeah. Now so you got what, 3 horror films / thrillers on the go, right?
Yes, I kept getting cast in them, which was really surprising. I don't know what happened there, but yes, it might be my look. Maybe if they think that I'm a kind of good person to get killed in one or something. But yes, I really like thriller. For writing, I really prefer writing thrillers. I haven't ever written a horror. I don't think that naturally is something that I would do. I really absolutely love writing comedy. That's my favourite genre for writing. This romantic comedy that I've written about Mallorca, I'm so excited about it. It's just going into the final rewrite this weekend. And it's really embarrassing, actually, because I was looking over it today, and I just always laugh at my own jokes, which is really bad. But yes, it's been really, really fun creating it. I've got characters doing really crazy things, and yeah, it's just been such a fantastic experience.
Okay, what's the romantic comedy called?
Well, we're still working on a name at the moment. Basically, it's a really big love story, and just about a guy typical love story that loves a girl but has loads of complications because he's not managing to get her. But he's got lots of people supporting him in his quest for this girl, and it's kind of the more that he tries to get the girl, the more that he fails to get the girl, and I've really tried to explore in this film, like the laws of attraction. What do women even want in a man? What can you do if you like somebody to try and make that person like you back? I've really been exploring that. Which has been really informative even for myself and my own life. So it's been great researching all of that. And yes, and there's what I'm really excited about in this romantic comedy is that there's a lot of roles for much older people who are very funny roles as well. And that's something that I've been really excited about, who they're going to cast in those roles, because I don't know, I don't think a lot of old people tend to be in romantic comedy, so I'm really excited about the casting for that as well.
Now, one of the complications was this woman already with somebody else?
Yes, that was the problem, that the woman's already with somebody else who's a very strong competitor, practically impossible to beat. So the poor guy that's in love is really struggling with it. And practically, really, he doesn't really stand a chance, so he's going against all the odds. And I think it's a film, for me, it means a lot to me because it's about whatever situation you're in, always fighting back and always believing in yourself. The guy that's in love always has to believe in himself and not give up on his dream of getting this girl, however impossible that seems. So for me, this film, I really wanted to give a message of hope about whatever the situation is, that if you believe in yourself and you keep going and you don't give up, you can achieve whatever you want, which in this case is the girl of his dreams. So yeah, he's got a huge fighting spirit and a lot of people supporting him, and yeah, that's the message I wanted to give, really.
Okay, here's a question. What's her relationship with her current boyfriend?
Yes, well, that was something that I found really fascinating because it actually, all my film writing, it comes from my own experiences, from the people that I've met in my own life, and that really I poured a lot of that into the antagonist in this film. The antagonist in the film is a very rich man, and he's always always concerned about making more money, about building an empire, and that's something that the other guy, who's obviously not rich, is battling against. And the woman, her relationship with the antagonist, with her current boyfriend, is a bit on the rocks already because he's always obsessed about the money and he's not really spending time with her, and she's feeling a bit kind of pushed to the side, and obviously that gives the guy a chance to get with her because he's already feeling the breakdown of her current relationship. So, yeah.
I need to ask, and now I don't want to get personal, so I'm taking this from, you say stuff that you relate to in your own life. Have you ever been stolen from a guy before? Is that what you're relating to?
Stolen? No, I haven't been stolen, no. No. It was just people that I've met and, reflecting that back into the antagonist. I always find that the people I love in real life end up being antagonists in my film. It's a bit ironic, but yeah, no.
Well, because I know Steve sent me your picture, you're gorgeous, so I mean, I could see you being the lead in this, the female lead.
I'd rather be her friend. I don't know. For me, because I've poured this is a project I've been working on for about 10 years. This romantic comedy.
Okay.
It's something that's developed over many years. Talking to a lot of my friends, we've come up with lots of funny scenes together, and it's been a long time developing it. I think for me, I wouldn't want to play that role just because I feel like I've already poured my whole soul into the script. I'd rather kind of step back and just watch it take off.
So is this film going to get released here?
I hope so. And currently, once I've finished, I'm going to go forward to, it's about finding the right screenwriting agent to push the film for me. A lot of my friends who are filmmakers, they do self-produce. It's not something that I feel like I'd want to do. I really want to get an agent to get the script to a producer who could make it for me.
Okay. So, well, at least you get the one American film, the Nightmare Chronicles. That's at least to be. So that's Nightmare Chronicles. Let me get this straight. Is that like a series of short stories, kind of like a creep show?
I think so. I think it's episodes, and they said it was the second chapter in anthology, in an anthology movie. Okay.
So, of course, you want to do more comedy stuff, right?
I love writing comedy, yes. It's my favorite genre to write. And I would love to act in comedy, but at the moment it seems to all be horror.
Okay. What are some of your favorite comedies?
I love Mr. Bean.
Okay.
It's really bad, but no, it was really funny, actually, because my mum always used to hate Mr. Bean. She would always say, "Oh, that's stupid man." She didn't like him at all, and then one day she actually really watched some of his work, and she was like, "He's fantastic." She bought all the movies, and for me, he's always been my favorite, especially because he has a big mess with languages, and being a linguist, it's something that I find really funny. Like when I think he goes on holiday to France, or is it? Yeah, he goes on holiday to France in one of his movies, and then they're like, "Oh, you speak great French," and he's like, "Gracias," and starts speaking in Spanish. And yeah, I absolutely love that movie. Mr. Bean is definitely my favorite.
Do UK based? My favorite, I think, is Monty Python. Do you like them?
I haven't watched so much of that, to be honest. I'm always watching the same Mr. Bean stunts. But yeah, no, I definitely want to watch more comedy. I've been so busy, to be honest, writing this comedy. I haven't had time to watch many other things. But yeah, it's definitely something I would like to watch more of.
I give high recommendation to Monty Python and the Holy Grail because they do such brilliant stuff in that is so awkward. And you wonder where they come up with it. Like, for example, at the beginning of the film, you hear the sound, like it sounds like the clopping of hooves, like horses. And coming up over the horizon, you got Graham Chapman as King Arthur, kind of going forward and going up and down, up and down. You like he's riding a horse, and you got Terry Gilliam behind him as his servant, and he's like clacking coconuts above his head, and that makes it sounds like a horse galloping. And you hear that sound, and there's no horses. You just hear the coconuts. It's that ridiculous. And he's
I know.
And he's
I love ridiculous things. Yeah, my film, the comedy, like I have like my favorite part is like some of the funny chases in it. I was writing this one chase scene, and it was just supposed to be a couple of pages, and the character just, I love it when I'm writing and a character just comes alive, and they just kind of keep doing things, and the character that's trying to escape in this chase scene, he just kept going, and all this stuff started coming out for this chase scene that I wasn't even like prepared to write. It just kind of all like flowed out. It was just amazing. Yeah, I really like really awkward things like you're saying. Yeah, comedy is something I really want to keep writing.
Well,
it's just so much fun writing it. I just sit there laughing sometimes when I'm writing, which is kind of awkward, but it's been great fun. And it's so nice, like when I'm telling my ideas to people, watching them laugh, like seeing like how that makes them happy. For me, that's just everything.
Yeah, well, in that Monty Python: The Holy Grail, Graham Chapman as King Arthur is trying to gather together some knights of the Round Table to go find the Holy Grail. And they get through all kinds of weird antics on the way, including killer bunnies.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, killer bunnies. Yeah, it's a pretty unique film. I'm a big fan of slapstick comedy, and I
love slapstick. I'm so bad. Like in my film, just everyone keeps getting smacked in the face with stuff. It's just like, yeah. I don't know how many times people get smacked in the face with poo in my film. It's awful. But I find it really funny, but I don't know if anyone else would, but I just sit there laughing at it.
One of my favorite jokes, and I brought this up a lot in my interviews, is the old pie in the face joke. Now, have you ever done that?
I haven't. My characters haven't actually thrown pies at each other yet. They do get kind of lots of things sprayed in their face, like cockroach spray, and yeah. But no, they haven't had pies quite yet. They just get hit with stuff generally.
Well, I'm going to share something with you. I haven't shared this a whole lot lately, but I'm going to share this with you. Are you involved at all in any charities?
In any charities? No, not at the moment.
Well, I'm going to fire one at you because I think this might be good for you, and I think with you like comedy, especially slapstick, this is not only a good charity, but I think it's something you might enjoy. Do you remember a few years ago when there was the Ice Bucket Challenge?
Oh, I remember, yes. Yes, I didn't do it, yeah.
Well, I wasn't even challenged for that, but remember when Robin Williams had passed away? Yeah, Robin Williams is unfortunately gone because of he suffered from depression. And Robin Williams was a terrific comic. And there was a new charity challenge that came up called the Doubtfire Face Challenge based on Mrs. Doubtfire. And what you do is you take a pie in the face and you nominate 3 people to also take the challenge. And it's for suicide and depression awareness, which is not taken seriously enough, I don't think.
Oh, no, that was actually something I wanted to talk about today, like why I wanted to write this comedy. Yes, I feel like, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like with social media, it's always like everyone paints their life to be rosy and happy, and you always feel like, you know, you're trying to make your life this sunshine thing like everybody else's life. But then when I'm with people and they're really honest with me, you know, people often come to me and they say that they've had these kind of thoughts like the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
And for me, that's why I really felt so strongly that I needed to write this comedy, because it was my way of trying to kind of address the problems of suicide and depression, which people don't talk about openly, and I wish that people could be more real about it, because the fascinating thing is that when people come to you and they just sit with you quietly and they're honest with you, lots of people say, oh, I considered that, or even I tried that a couple of months ago. And it's just completely shocking that it's something that people don't talk about. So for me, that's partly why comedy is so important, because it's a way of trying to deal with pain, but in a making it kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's taking things that hurt you, like losing the woman you love, but making it fun and kind of being more uplifting.
Okay.
They always say that laughter is the best medicine, so that's why comedy for me is really important, because sometimes I talk to some people that have been extremely depressed, and I say, look, I'm writing this scene, and this is the scene, and this is what's going to happen, and just seeing them happy and seeing them smile, you just really feel like you're making a difference, and that has spurred me on so much with this project. It's made me believe in it even more, because I think about all the people that would see this and whose lives would be affected in a positive way by seeing something fun and something really strengthening and uplifting.
Well, I want to share something with you. I did the Doubtfire challenge, and I've had quite a few of my interviewees accept the challenge, including one of the actresses from one of the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, I was listening to your interview with her earlier. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, which one?
I don't remember her name right now.
Was one of mine?
Yes, one of your interviews.
Was it Nancy McLaughlin?
No, not that one.
Oh, and was the Doubtfire challenge brought up?
I didn't listen quite to the end, but did you talk about it near the end?
I don't know. I'm not even sure who it was you were talking to, but yeah, I've had a few people accept that challenge, and I'm hoping to get it to the industry involved, and yeah, so far I've had a few takers, and I'm hoping to get it so that bigger performers take it on as well. Just because the Ice Bucket Challenge, that raised a lot of money for ALS, and I think something suicide and depression, which is again glossed over so badly, and affects so many people. Yeah. So if you are up for it,
what kind of pie is it? Is it like cream or
just a whipped cream pie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Just get it right in your face. I mean, it's better for me than Ice Bucket. I never did the Ice Bucket just because I thought it would be too cold. I just do not like the cold. That's probably why I moved to Spain, to be nice and warm.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to take Ice Bucket. I've seen one of your videos where you have bunny ears on and you guys were...
Oh, yes, that was great fun. That was the Easter special in the run-up to Determination, the second film that's going to be produced by A&D Film Productions. Yes.
Yeah.
That was actually improvised because the producer and the actor were coming along on that day anyway, and I just woke up that morning and I just said, should we just improvise and see what comes, what happens? Yeah, that was just improvised. It was really fun that day.
Yeah, I watched it because I wanted to get a little feel about what kind of performer you were, and I really got your sense of humor in that, and you seemed to have fun. So if I'll tell you what, you do a Doubtfire face challenge, take a pie in the face, film yourself doing it, and I can give you some instructions on Facebook or whatever, and what you can say or whatever, how to do it. And in return, and I've done this too, I will donate to the charity of your choice, just as my way of showing my gratitude.
Oh, that's great, yes. I'll probably choose it. I really like the Samaritans. Have you heard of them?
The what?
The Samaritans. It's like a free phone number that you can call in the UK for people that are down. I've seen their posters about as well, and it's just like a support line, and that's a charity that I think is really fantastic because it gives everyone in the UK an opportunity to talk to someone. If they're feeling down, it's just an anonymous call thing. So that's probably my favorite charity at the moment.
I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. You do the Doubtfire challenge, and I'll do the video. I'll even have it put up on my YouTube page, and I'll make a donation towards the Samaritans.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Does that sound all right? We got a deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, deal.
You're not afraid of a pie in the face?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay, there we go. Well,
Had worse. I had, like, kind of, in the horror film, I had, like, fake blood all over my face. So a pie is good. I'll probably just eat it afterwards, though, knowing me.
Actually, it's funny. I had somebody on here not too long ago. Steve Joyner had sent me a comedian to interview, and he was in a vampire film. And in the film, he gets ripped all open and whatnot. And afterwards, he had so much fake blood on him, he went to this roadside gas station to go clean up. He said that the one night there was a lot of people there, and the looks he got.
Oh, yeah. It's actually quite funny. One thing that happened to us, a little anecdote, was that when we were doing Litany, the horror film, my character had to get in a box. Okay. So the director took me down to the local post office where we were filming in Oxford, and he just said, like, can I just, like, get that big box down off the top shelf and see if my actress can fit in it? And you should have seen the lady's face. She was just, like, staring at me like, that's the actress you want to get in the box? But he didn't actually mention the fact that I was an actress at that point, actually. And that was what was really funny. He just said, can you please get that big box down and see if she can fit in it? And I was like, afterwards, I was like, maybe you should have mentioned the film or something, because this poor woman was just, like, looking at me in the middle of this post office trying to squeeze into this box. And yeah, it was really funny. But yeah, things like that, when people don't realise what's going on. Oh, and also in Vows, which is obviously about gender-based violence, I had a big bruise on my face where my on-screen husband had punched me. And we all went into the supermarket in between takes to get some food for lunch. And I was walking around with this big bruise on my face, and everyone was worried about it because, yeah, they don't realise that you're making a film, and then it can look a bit weird.
Oh, yeah, that could get your poor fellow actor in trouble.
I know, yes. Everyone was, like, trying to pull my hair over my face and everything. But, yeah, it's fine. We would have just explained about the film. But, yeah, it's really fun. People get really excited around you as well when they see you're making a film. And, yeah, that's absolutely great.
Wow. So far out of all the films you've done, what would you say is your best experience so far?
It's really hard to say. Being on the Spanish soap opera for me was like, it's just amazing. That was kind of like the first biggest thing I did, and that was just, I was just so excited to be on that. But I think probably the best thing was this horror film Litany, just because of just how hard the director was working, because we were filming at night times all the time. Okay. And he was like all day preparing these boxes, these tunnels for my character, and just seeing the amount of dedication and effort was just so inspiring for me. I think also from being a screenwriter, being with the team on set was just such an enriching experience, because when you're a writer, I guess many people don't realize, but you spend a lot of time on your own creating. So having that really powerful team around me was just really inspiring for me, and just how hard everyone was working and all putting together, and it just made it a really magical experience.
Wow. So this film's called, what did you say, Lydia, like with an L?
Oh, Litany.
Oh, Litany. How do you spell that?
It's Litany. It's just in post-production at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right. And your other films, you got, what was it, Two Wrongs?
Oh, Two Wrongs, yeah.
Okay.
This is a psychological thriller or a horror that I've been cast in. I played the part of a daughter called Stephanie.
Okay.
And this is set to film like in a few months' time.
Okay.
They're still creating it and developing it.
Okay, and the third one that you're in?
Oh, yes, the fantasy movie Hunters Hunted. This is a project that I'm really excited about, because I played the part of an elf, which is just something you just never think you're going to do.
Hunters Hunted?
I remember when I... Pardon?
Hunters Hunted?
Yes.
Okay.
It's created by Craig Teal, and it's the first film to be set within the Chronicles of Alundra, which is a story created by Craig. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting up with him, and he was showing me the script. So I was one of the first cast members to see the script, which was really exciting. And yes, we're soon going to start filming the kind of trailer short film for that. And yes,
Okay.
I'm really, really excited about that one.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm hoping some of these get released here because films like that, unless they get filled with big stars or whatnot, we rarely get to see them. And a lot of these are more creative than some of the big blockbusters that they're pushing out of Hollywood, you know?
Yes, I was absolutely stunned by the amount of work. Obviously, being a screenwriter, I know how much work goes into a feature film. It's years of effort. I can't even describe in words how much I put into, especially my first one. I think once I'd finished the first feature film, the second one was a lot easier because I was really got to grips with structure and I could go, quite a lot faster. But yes, just how creative Craig's been. Creating this whole fantasy world. It's been amazing, talking to him about it. It's actually been really inspiring, because actually, even being an actress in this project, on a screenwriting level, meeting other screenwriters who put the bar so high just really inspires me to keep being more creative and do better, and we're just all spurring each other on, and it's really fantastic.
Wow. You going to write yourself a romantic comedy where you get to play opposite Mr. Bean?
Oh, yeah. My dad was making jokes about it. Why didn't you write a Mrs. Bean? But no, I haven't done it yet. But
He could put you in a box.
yeah, we got it all coming together, tonight I'm going to start writing that one. Yeah, I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No, and your romantic comedy doesn't have a title yet, but you got... Sometimes figuring out a title can be hard.
Yeah, I'm just what I'm waiting to do is to have it completely, the rewrites going on this weekend. And, just find the right word or couple of words to kind of summarize it with. I'm really excited about this romantic comedy because it's set in, I don't know, have you ever been to Mallorca?
Actually, I haven't been outside New Brunswick, Canada, so I'm lucky to call you because I don't know. It sounds like where you are is a beautiful place, but my traveling days, I just never travel, and I should, but I just never ever get out.
Yes, I managed to get to Mallorca last summer. I really wanted to do a lot of location scouting. I have lots of friends who are screenwriters. Some of them don't scout the locations themselves. I always try and get to the city or the place that I'm going to set the film in, just, so I can get inspired and learn more about the culture. And I was out in Mallorca last summer, which is an amazing experience, going around taking photos of everything for the film, to try and incorporate as many funny aspects as I possibly could. And I found this really amazing village called Valdemosa, which is where all the main characters in my film live. And it's an absolutely magical village. It's up in in the mountains, and it's just tucked away. And I just went there one night, and I just thought, when you just find the right place. Mm-hmm. It was just so inspiring, and that's where I set the romantic comedy in Valdemosa. I'm completely in love with that village. I've even got pictures of it on my Facebook and everything. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, I got you on Facebook. Don't I?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Now, I was going to say, a lot of times romantic comedies can end up following into formula. So I was wondering if there's anything at all, because you sound to me, I know people in the UK are creative. I know, because Monty Python's creative. You got some creative minds over there. So I was just wondering, is there anything at all? I know you're a creative person. Is there anything at all you're going to do with this to kind of differentiate this from your average romantic comedy?
Well, what I really try and do when I'm writing is just create very strong characters that have a lot of personality. And I almost, as a writer, the way I view writing is kind of holding hands with the main character and just letting them lead me with their desires, with what they want to do. So for me, that's been the main thing, just making really individual, strong personalities. Parts that would be extremely fun to play, which would obviously bring a lot of energy into the set. So, yeah, I think it's just making characters that have never been made before and that really stand out because of their individuality. That's what I've been focusing on. And I think as well, people always talk about Hollywood kind of being for younger people, all the main parts. I've seen some messages on Facebook groups for actors all the main parts are for young people, and I've always felt that's such a shame because I've always felt that whatever age you are, you have so much to give, and people who are older as well, they have so much more life experience and they can bring that to a part when they act. So one of the main things for this film was also writing a lot of parts for older people, a lot older people, elderly people almost. So I think that makes the film different because that kind of makes it really fun because it's kind of for all ages. It's not just a young teenage romance, boy meets girl at high school thing. I've tried to make it kind of all ages, and, that also would be extremely fun to cast.
Well, if you've got strong characters in it, that really helps bring a film along. You take a film like There's Something About Mary, for example. That was helped along greatly by strong characters, good writing, and a really great cast. So, I mean, that can definitely work in your favor if you have those elements all in line.
Yes, the first feature film that I wrote, which is the romantic thriller set in Seville, it's set in the Sevillian fair, which I don't know whether you've ever seen it on the internet. It's an extremely bright, vivacious fair, and I chose that setting just because it kind of it really shows off really well this Spanish culture, which I completely fell in love with. It's got all the flamenco dancing and all the music. They wear these amazing bright, colourful dresses with huge tails. It's just absolutely stunning. And that film I was really excited about because I have a really strong male lead character called Javier, who's a Spanish man, policeman in the film. And yeah, that's something that I've been really excited about, waiting to see who they cast as him. It's a character who I've kind of used to try and be inspiring because he's very courageous and he's very brave and he's really fearless. And when I was showing the script to my actor friends, they were all saying, I want to be Javier, and it was really funny because they're English, and I was like, well, you can't because it's a Spanish character. But I even want to play that character myself. I'm so excited about it, but I can't. I wish I'm really gutted because obviously it's for a boy. But yeah, I always try and have really strong characters and just let them lead and let them come to life, really, as a writer. Just letting go. I find that when I let go and just follow them, that's when the magic happens.
Wow. Well, I hope that works out for you. I, too, like comedy. I also like horror films as well. I guess you get your work cut out for you in those. But definitely, the romantic comedy definitely sounds like it's more up to speed with me. Especially, I love the fact that you have the protagonist of the film being kind of a smaller guy, and
he absolutely has no chance.
Yeah, I like that.
So fun. Also, it was really, really fun, looking up, because I try and build him up throughout the film. At the beginning, he's just this weedy guy who's got no chance, and he's trying to compete with this, rich guy who's already got the girl. He doesn't stand a chance. So it's really, how can I build this guy up? And it was trying to, learn to, even though I was learning about how to build him up, I was learning to build myself up at the same time. So it was a really amazing experience writing this film, how to gain confidence, how to believe in yourself more, because this character has a huge character arc and really grows throughout the film. And it was really exciting. It's been so exciting writing it. And also all the studying about, like, you know, like I said before, like, what do women find attractive, and how can I incorporate that to help the character? He has a lot of people helping him to get this girl and advising him, but everything's going wrong because he's doing it badly, and it ends up being really funny.
So tell me, I must know, does he get to kiss the girl right in front of the antagonist?
He does have an amazing scene at the end where he does manage to clinch her. Yeah, he doesn't kiss her in front of him because the girl then goes out after him. But yeah, he does get her at the end. Oh, I just gave the ending away.
Oh, we all know
it's going to end happily.
Well, hopefully, by the time this comes out, they'll be already underway. But no, I think that would have been like the perfect payoff. He gets to kiss her right in front of the bad guy.
Yeah. I was thinking about giving the bad guy a pie in the face, actually, talking about pies in the face. I haven't at the moment. I'm still, like, writing his comeuppance. But, yeah, I was thinking about the pie in the face, so it's funny you mentioned that.
Okay. Have her give it to him.
Yeah. That's even better. Yeah, I like that idea.
There you go. After all, she was the one hooked up with him. There you go.
Yeah, that would be funny.
There you go. See, look at me helping you write your own film.
Yeah. Yeah, I always find that when I talk with my friends, I talk through scenes, and they come up with some amazing stuff. Like, it's so funny. Like, the creative process, like, I explain, I've got this scene, like one of the chase scenes, and then I lay out the different steps in the scene, what's going to happen, and then they come out with some amazing stuff. And some of my best ideas have come from, like, my best friends who've just suddenly said, why don't they do that? And it's like, I read this quote, it was something about, like, creativity is imagination having fun or something. And it was like, yeah, just seeing how creative people can be when they have fun, and that's really enriched this project as well.
I noticed some pictures that you did on Facebook. You've done some modeling. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I really do enjoy that. I've always preferred acting. I've done modeling, though, as well. Obviously, there's quite a lot of money in modeling, so it's always good. But, yeah, no, I do that as well.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're coming down towards the end of our time, but I was just going to say, do you got like a web page or anything that you want to plug on here?
No, I will be creating one there. I have my Facebook page at the moment, which is Nadia Chloe Rose, and I'm soon going to make a web page as well, which will have my name as well as, like, the address.
Well, here's something I would like to do. I'm going to keep in touch with you on Facebook. Definitely with the Doubtfire Challenge, I'll give you information on that. But when you get, especially a romantic comedy, I'm kind of interested in this very much. But when you get these projects done and underway and completed or near completed, I'd love to have you back on.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It'd be an honor.
Well, it gives you some promotion here in Canada,
Yeah.
Am I your first interview in Canada?
Yes, I was really excited, yes.
Oh, it's an honor. You're the second person from the UK that Steve has sent my way who for first interview in Canada was with me, and I was like quite stoked to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if before you go, if you'd mind doing a plug for my show.
Oh, sure, yes. How'd I do that?
You might want to have a pen and paper on hand. I just want you to state your name. And my name, of course, is Greg Gilbert. Mm-hmm. And my show is called Python's Paradise. Python like the snake. Mm. Yeah. And I'm from, of course, New Brunswick, Canada.
New Brunswick.
Yeah. Yep, New Brunswick.
Python's Paradise from New Brunswick, Canada.
Yeah. You ready?
Do I just say listen to this show? Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
Plugging.
Well, no, you just state your name and say you're listening to. Just say you're listening to Python's Paradise with Greg Gilbert in New Brunswick, Canada. So
yeah.
just state your name first.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, go.
Hello, I'm Nadia Chloe Rose, and you're listening to Python's Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada, with Greg Gilbert.
Oh, that was perfect. Got it right in the first take. I've had some name performers on here that have messed it up and had to do 2 or 3 times, but you got her on the first go.
Yeah, we got it.
There you go. Well, you know what, Nadia? Like I said, I'm really interested in your romantic comedy. I'm hoping I hope that really works out for you. And like I said, when you get that done, and even your horror films, feel free to get in contact with me. I would love to have you back on. We can promote your stuff on this end.
Yes, thank you ever so much for having me. It's been a great pleasure.
Well, it's been a great pleasure and honor for me as well. So,
okay, I hope you have a great day. It's still day there, isn't it?
It is, yep. It's 5:06 here right now. Let me guess, it's after 9 where you are, right?
Yes, about 9:08 now, yes.
You're getting ready to go make some Z's, right?
Yeah, I'm already half in my pajamas.
You're already in your pajamas?
Yeah, I'm going around with my dressing gown, actress Hollywood style. It's actually quite funny sometimes when I'm out about with my friends. I love dressing up because, all the modeling, all the acting, it's so glamorous, all the makeup. But then when I'm, not kind of doing the film, or when I'm working really hard on a screenplay, I'm always, slobbing around. It's so funny, and then I always make jokes about it, like Hollywood glam. The other day we went to McDonald's drive-thru, and I was, there with, this huge hoodie and all these socks pulled up, and I was like, yeah, Hollywood glam. It was quite funny.
Oh,
when
wow.
I'm not on set, yeah, it's not quite so glamorous. But it's really good fun.
Those are the kind of ideas you can put into the romantic comedy as well.
Yeah. Yeah, my character does have a lot of problems with clothing. That was one of the things because I've never felt like I'm fashionable. I've never really followed, all the teenage vogue and things like that. I've always just worn clothes that I feel comfortable with, or just really anything. So that was one of the main things with this poor, character in the film. He just cannot get the right clothes, and it's something I was really playing with. So, yeah, kind of it sounds really sad, actually, but the main character in this film, I've kind of, the guy that's struggling to get this guy, I kind of based it on myself and, my own, my own funny moments, and it's kind of like a version of me. So, yeah, with his bad style. But, yeah.
Well, I bid you a wonderful night, and I think it's an honor that I've been able to have you on here this evening, and yeah, like I said, we'll be in touch, and we'll promote your romantic comedy when it comes out, and we'll promote whatever else that you're doing.
Okay, thank you ever so much. I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, God bless.
Okay, bye.
Bye.